Was that necessary, Tat? For the record, I have no control over those sounds. Tat is playing them over there on the Twitch. Welcome to the Build Show. Hey, it's your thing. Who's that guy? Who? What was epic? I had to take my PC to the PC place. What does that mean? I thought I was the PC place. Black screen, but yes. I just built my first PC last week. Awesome. Hey. Welcome to the Build Show, sir. Tat, welcome to the Build Show. Jeffrey C. Ant-Man with the first comment over there on YouTube. Welcome to the Build Show. John, hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Build Show. Carter. Cursor. What? Remind me again what was going on. I made a new channel for when I start flipping PCs because I might do that. Okay, John, that's pretty cool. But Carter, is it one of our PCs? Flow is epic? And forgive me if I don't know. Or if I sound stupid. All works good, but the RGB lights up, but not letting me change the color. Any advice? I'd have to know how you have the RGB plugged in. I'm assuming the RGB fans. Let me see if I have an example here. Was it one of these little connectors? Come on, focus. RGB. Yeah, if you have an RPG, it makes sound, so I don't know what happened. Pretty good, John. You got some money saved up. Keep working at it, sir. Flow is epic. Please tell me this is not one of our PCs that you took to a PC place. Or is it that, okay, your PC. Gotcha. So is it, which PC is it again? I'm sorry, guys. I've had a long day. I kind of feel confused myself. Anyway, welcome to the Build Show. I'm your host, Benestrino, over here at the Empower Gaming Studio. No, none of yours. Okay. Had me worried there for half a second for some reason. If I'm not mistaken, because you keep flip-flopping from like Kick, I think, to Twitch and also YouTube. And I think there's different names. Okay, crappy one. That sucks. Yeah, it has one of those plugins. So if you got these, what you need to do is make sure that they are plugged into your motherboard. Your motherboard will have a header that should have 3 pins on it, and it'll look like it should have 4 pins with 1 pin missing, and it should be called either Rainbow or ARGB. Different motherboard manufacturers will have different names for the header, unfortunately, so it's not always the same name depending on which manufacturer you go with, meaning Gigabyte, Asus, MSI might have a different name for the header. That header will synchronize your RGB to the motherboard. The motherboard, from there, once you have Windows installed and you install your motherboard management software, for example, Gigabyte will have the Control Center, MSI will have the MSI Center, Asus will have the Asus Armory Crate. You can then use those tools within those tools, such as MSI has Mystic Light, Gigabyte has the RGB Fusion, Asus has the Aurora Creator, or whatever it's called. You could use those tools to then manage the RGB. There are other third-party softwares out there that will also do the same thing, but I always recommend just using the tool that comes with your motherboard. It is going to be the most accurate, most functional software, and it gets updated regularly from a trustworthy company. Armory Crate, Asus, and it sucks. No problems far with 24/3 driver in all games. Wow, that's pretty cool, Tat. That's why I kept, thinking, it's got to be a driver problem. I didn't want you to go like crazy and start returning the card or doing power supply stuff without touching that driver, or trying a different driver, maybe rolling it back. So I have to plug the connector straight into the RGB plug-in on the motherboard first, then run all the plugins into the controller. So your controller, if you have a controller, let's say you bought a case and it has a controller on the back with a bunch of those RGB connections on the back, it should have a sync cable coming off that controller. That sync cable would then go plug into your motherboard on that addressable RGB header. From there, everything else you just plug into the hub, the controller on the back. From there, you should be able to then control the RGB using your motherboard software. The card is a dud. Send it to me. I will recycle it for you. Some giant idiot. That is excellent advice. Tat, you should probably just give up on the 9070 XT. It's a dud. And for the sake of recycling and staying green, you should send it to some giant idiot. John, 17 is in cash and the other 35 is something else. Okay. Make sure when you plug it in, it don't go kaboom. Thank you for the follow, Pay. Also, Pay, if you have simple questions like this and you don't want to wait for us to be live, you can always go to our Discord channel and drop a question there. Because I'm not live every single day. So if you type in the chat !Discord, you should receive the link to the Discord channel. And then you can join there. What if the motherboard doesn't have enough connectors for my build, John? That's when you would use, just like he's using, a hub or a controller. Typically the hubs you can get for like 10 bucks. For example, Thermalright has a very simple fan and RGB hub that I think controls up to 7 or 8 fans, and it uses a SATA power connector to power it, and then it has a sync cable for both the PWM fan connector and the addressable RGB 3-pin 5-volt connector for your RGB, and then you just connect all your fans and everything into there. Or most likely, for example, on this fan, it has a DAISY connection. What this means is I plug this end of the motherboard, and then I have another connector here that allows me to connect additional fans on this end. So you can DAISY them together and do it that way as well. But you do have a limit on how many you can plug into a header at once before it's too much power being drawn, and then it won't work. So just keep that in mind. If you are exceeding that limit, then it might be better to just get a hub and use the hub. John, don't forget to like the video, guys. Thank you, sir. PR us, Ben's favorite IQ link. No, I do not like Corsair. I'm actually not the biggest fan of Corsair, but they do have their use cases, as we saw. Good evening, Army Vet. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. So Flow is epic. What is going on with your PC? I'm sorry, I felt so confused when you first mentioned it. What's going on with your PC? Went to AMD's Discord tech source and they instantly knew what was happening. They wanted me to go in and reg edit and delete something that Windows does with part of the newest driver itself, or just roll back. Well, it went easy route. I went an easy route. Nice. There's a reason people have been memeing on AMD drivers for decades. Some giant idiot. Thanks. You know, I'm trying to get everybody to believe in AMD, and it doesn't help when you sit here telling people that there's a reason for memes, or, you know, reason people meme AMD drivers. Doesn't help. Believe in it. It works. It's raw power. So, tonight's build is brought to you by Dubby. And if you guys are into Dubby or energy drinks or flavored water, they have flavored packets for water, and they also have a mix for energy drinks. If you are interested, Dubby didn't actually sponsor this whole build, by the way. They're just a partner now at this point. But if you are interested in energy drink without all the extra crap, I highly recommend Dubby. I've tried it. They sent me some stuff and I was able to try it, and I am still drinking it almost on a daily basis now, which is probably bad, but I don't drink coffee anymore. So I have, you know, taken some of the caffeine out of my diet and replaced it or supplemented it with Dubby to kind of try it, and it does a pretty good job. I'm pretty impressed. So, and I don't feel, what's really cool about Dubby so far is that I don't feel the way I would feel if I drank like a Red Bull or a Monster or some other energy drink, especially one with sugar. Generally, you'll have like a crash afterwards. This, I do not actually get that crash, which is really cool because I can get that energy boost that I'm looking for and then kind of just continue through the day and not crash. Or have to go drink another energy drink because I am crashing, which is just this weird fact or loop or cycle. Anyway, Dubby. Exclamation point Dubby in the chat if you want to learn more. But I thought I'd, you know, shoot that out there if anybody's interested in trying it. Don't forget to, or yeah. Wait. I'd trade my 4060 for his 9070 XT. Well, he already has a 3080, unfortunately, Ant-Man, which would definitely outrun the 4060. Yeah, I think that's what I have in my cart right now. What do you have in your cart right now? Never has failed me. Intel, Nvidia, and Asus is the only products I believe in, so never has failed me. I hear you. I used to be the same way before I branched out and started trying new things, and that's the only way we learn. But I've learned Gigabyte's been pretty good. Oh, we do have an update on yesterday's build. So, it is a bad motherboard. Go figure. It was supposed to be a new motherboard. When I was opening it up yesterday, I did realize it looked like it was an open box board. So, again, I don't know what it is lately with Amazon shipping new products as with open box products when you order new, but it's been getting worse lately. So that board I ordered from Amazon, thankfully it's going to be very easy and quick to get it resolved because I just contacted them and said, hey, it's bad, and they're like, okay, we'll send you another one, put the other one in the UPS box and call it a day. So it's going to be easy. It's just going to take a couple extra days to get that build completed now, and I have to swap a board out, which kind of sucks, but at least in that case it's not very difficult, so should be pretty easy. Anyway, let's move on to today's build, shall we? I feel like the music's a little loud. There we go. Toasty Bros has been complaining about what you just said in the last 4 streams. What, Amazon sending us open box items as new items? Yes, it's been obnoxious. And I'd be okay with it if it worked. You know, like maybe Amazon has a test bench there and they test all the components that they're sending out as new, quote unquote. But it doesn't work. And that sucks. And that means I'm wasting time. And time is very precious here. Especially when that build was supposed to be done. So now, we're kind of, you know, behind on that build. Behind. I think we were only 1 day late if I had it finished today. Which I would have. if it worked. So, anyway, today's build for Mr. Justin. You can already see kind of what we've got cooking here on the table. But we've got a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D. This beast of a CPU has got the 8 cores and 16 threads with the 3D V-Cache with a maximum boost of 5 gigahertz. This thing is a beast even if it's not the 9800X 3D, which isn't that much quicker anyway. The only difference would be that it doesn't support PCIe Gen 5, but the motherboard doesn't support PCIe Gen 5 either, and it's like maybe $300 more to get to that. So, could have done it, but not in this price point. Alright, next we have the Thermalright Frozen Note 360mm AIO that we're going to be using to cool the CPU, along with some Cryonaut Extreme Thermal Paste that we'll be using, and a Thermalright AM5 contact frame. This helps keep the CPU as flat as possible, making it or providing better contact to the cooler, because the contact or the CPU is as level as possible, meaning the level copper block equals better contact. I don't know how to explain it better than that. Good evening all, Mikey. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. A 3-stream streak. Nice. Lethal Wick, hello Ben. Which Micro Center bundle should I buy? A 9700X bundle or 7600X 3D bundle? Does your Micro Center have the 7800X 3D bundle, or is that a price thing that you're trying to stay within? Ant-Man, from now on, I'm only buying my electronics from Best Buy. Oh boy. Hey, do you think that the Ryzen 9 5900X and an NVIDIA RTX 4060 is a good combo? I mean, there's definitely no bottleneck there from the CPU, so that's a good thing, right? So, I don't think it's a bad combination. I think there's some wiggle room on your CPU. You could probably upgrade and get a little bit more out of it. It's a price thing, Lethal Wick. Okay. I would honestly just go with the 9700X bundle. Hey, Rob. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. I'd go with the 9700X bundle. I don't know. I don't know what the 7600X 3D bundle is like, because I don't think our Micro Center has that. And if they do, it's not public on their website. At least I haven't seen it. Don't blindly trust retailers. Best Buy sent me fake Apple AirPod Pros last year. Was that from a marketplace seller, some giant idiot, or was it from Best Buy? And what also happens, guys, when you're ordering stuff online, what could happen, and this, I have personally had this happen to me, especially from Amazon, is somebody will buy something and then they'll place a return and return an incorrect item, probably of lesser value, back. The people that are receiving the item from, say, Best Buy or Amazon aren't knowledgeable enough to go through and identify that it's the incorrect item, and then the return gets accepted, and then it gets re-inventoried, and then they'll ship it out as a open box or new item. So that happens a lot. I once bought a CPU from Amazon, and inside the box it had a CPU in there. I think it was an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, and it was back in the day, like a few years ago. It was like a 2700X. It was, or supposed to be. And what I received was like a AMD Athlon. I was like blown away. And the box looked like it was still sealed too. So all they looked at was to see that it was an AMD processor inside the box and that it was not opened. So somehow they opened it, don't know how, and they resealed it to make it look like it was new. And then they sent it back to Amazon, and then it got re-inventoried, and then I got it. And I opened it because I didn't think anything of it. I opened it, pulled it out, and I'm like, wait a second, this is not an AM4 CPU. this is not an AM4 CPU. And I would look, and I'm like, oh shit, it's an AM3 CPU. It was like an Athlon something. I can't, it was like one of those cheap dual-core CPUs. Anyway, I ended up contacting Amazon, returning it, and they declined my return because I had opened it and it was the incorrect product. And I had to sit there and fight them on this, saying that's what was sent to me. And then another time, I had purchased a CPU, and this happened to a lot to CPUs. But another time, they shipped me a CPU. I think it was a Ryzen 5, or supposed to be a Ryzen 5 1600 or something like that, the AF series. And I received nothing but the AMD box with the heatsink and fan. That was it. There was no CPU in the box. So it was definitely shipped to me like that, and I, you know, looked around to see if maybe the CPU was in there, just in a different spot in the box, and it wasn't. And again, Amazon gave me a lot of trouble when I went to return it, and I had to fight that as well. So it happens a lot more than you think, where people will buy stuff and return it back to Amazon and take a chance at getting a free product when they're returning the false item. Very dishonest. Don't do this. I don't know what kind of trouble you can get in. I'm sure there's more trouble than you think, but if you get caught. But that happens a lot, so that is why that probably happened, some giant idiot, I'm assuming. Man, that's such a bad thing to do. Karma will get those people one day. I know. And it's really frustrating for me because I'm looking to build a computer, guys. I'm not looking to waste time on having to send stuff back and forth to Amazon and then fight it over the phone or via chat window for a half hour and waste more of my time. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Anyway, back to this build. We talked about the AM5 contact frame and the Cryonaut Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut Extreme Thermal Paste. The RAM we're going to be installing today is 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 megahertz. 32 gig sticks. There's actually an error here on the invoice, which is CL30. This is G.Skill's Trident Z5 Neo RGB, which is AMD Expo certified. We're going to be putting that on a B650 Gaming X AX V2 motherboard. And we have a 4 terabyte MP44 by Team Group, which is an M.2 NVMe PCIe Gen 4 SSD. We're going to be powering the system with a Sedratep 850 watt power supply, and the display is going to be ran through a Sapphire Pulse AMD Radeon RX 7600 XT 16 gigabyte graphics card. We have some black cable extensions to go with the build, and that's all going into a Montech Air 903 Max. So a really nice high airflow case, big case that'll fit especially this card, this nice card, very nicely. So with that being said, guys, let's get ready to build. Oh, you know that case, do you? I hope so. I've built in it a few times. So this is what a new motherboard should look like. Packaging not tampered with. Daughter's case, yep. Honestly, kind of like it more than your Montech 95. It's a little more simple. There we are. So we're going to go ahead and get started by dropping the CPU into the socket and then replacing the frame with the Thermalright contact frame that we have. Hey, Pedro Games, thank you for the sub over there on YouTube. Jesse, thank you for the like over on the Facebook. Thank you, sir. Next up, our G.Skill Trident Z5 Neo RGB RAM, 64 gigabytes, DDR5 6000 megahertz, CL36 or CL30, two 32 gigabyte sticks. Jesse, another all AMD system, nice. We're seeing more and more of those, Jesse. It's a beautiful thing, in a way. Hey, what's up, Steve? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Saw you try to sneak in there without being noticed. Next up is our 4 terabyte Team Group MP44, which is a PCIe Gen 4 SSD. I think it maxes out at like 7200 megabits per second and has the 3D TLC NAND and the SLC cache. Needed one of our M.2 screws from our motherboard box. There we have it. We have our motherboard prepped and ready to go. So we'll move on to our getting our case out. Whoa! Whoa. The Montech Air 903 Max, featuring three 140mm fans in the front that are addressable RGB, and an additional fourth 140mm PWM fan in the rear, along with a hub that we were just kind of talking about. Hey, I don't know if you're still here, but this has a hub where we can plug all of our case fans into, and all of our RGB, and this hub does have a sync cable for both PWM and addressable RGB. Steve, I was wondering if it was a 7800 XT build. Yeah, it is. We're doing it! What's Max doing? Well, after he ate his dinner, he is now snoozing down here. He was also running around through the house prior to this. OpenRGB requires a plugin for AMD cards. Does it? So you talking like, what card is it that I'm thinking of? There's a card that I'm thinking of that has the header on the card that you can sync to the motherboard. Well, I didn't like the OpenRGB anyways, it was too confusing. Yeah, you might have to use ASRock software. You're still here? Well, this is... I'm assuming your case has something like this. Does it have this thing right here? Or it has like a fan hub, or fan connectors, and then your RGB connectors? $4090 has a header. I know, but there's an AMD, there's like quite a few AMD cards that actually have the header, the RGB header, where you can synchronize it with their motherboard, which makes RGB a little easier. Website said it requires ASRock RGB software, but I didn't find my card. Yeah, your card has a header. So did it come with a sync cable? Because if it did come with a cable, because you could just simply take your card, plug it into your card RGB header, and then plug it into the hub in the back, or your motherboard, and then you can just sync the RGB as if it was a fan. It didn't? Then all you would need is probably a 3-pin 5-volt addressable RGB cable, which you could probably order on Amazon. They're super cheap. If you need a link to one, I can send you one. If you want to give me shoot a picture over of what your header looks like on your card. Mine, I had to buy a different controller. Oh. What fans do you have? Radeon cards, I don't blame people wanting an all AMD build, yeah. Well, I mean, with all this rage over, or rave over the 9070 XT, everybody wants an AMD card all of a sudden. So, we're seeing more and more of them, which is cool, because they're more available. At least they used to be more available. But, you know, it's easier for me to get cards. But I will say, finding a 9700 XT at the price point I needed it at for this build was tough. So I did take a loss on this build. I mean, for the card I took a loss on because it was supposed to be like a $480 card or something like that in that price range. And that just didn't exist, unfortunately. So 7800 XT, getting harder to get now. All right, let's go ahead and drop this board in here and get rolling. Like a 3-pin, kind of hard to see. So is it like the addressable RGB rainbow 3-pin? Because if it is, then yeah, all you need is a 5-volt ARGB cable. Power cooler does, I believe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Is a lot of the power color cards have the headers on them for like the Red Devil, which I think is cool. It makes it easy for me when I build a customary PC and I only have to show them one piece of software to a controller RGB. Really makes it easy. What I hate most is sitting there like, okay, and then this software controls your graphics card, and then this software controls your front fads, and then this software controls your pump and your AIO fads, and then this software controls your RAM. Sounds stupid. All right, there we go. We got our motherboard installed. Let's go ahead and get our front panel connectors in, and then we'll deal with our EPS 24-pin, install a radiator, install a power supply and a graphics card, do some cable management, and fire this thing up. Sound good? This build is a relatively easy build. It is not a difficult build to do. And there we go. We got all our front panel connectors in. So let's go ahead and get our EPS cables in 24-pin. This song reminds me of a time I was at the skating rink, the good old times with cell phones. Not this song, the one before. Wonder if I read that right in the right time. Ooh, Kate, what's up? Welcome back to the Build Show. What PC are we working on here? We're working on Justin's PC. Yes, and if you type !build in the chat, it will spit out the specs. But it is a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D AM5 processor on a B650 gaming XAX motherboard with a Frozen Note 360mm AIO by Thermalright and a Thermalright AM5 contact frame with 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL30 G-Skill Trident Z5 Neo RGB RAM, as well as a 4 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD by Team Group, which is AMP44, and an AMD Radeon RX 7800 XT with an 850 watt power supply, all built into a Montec Air 903 Max ATX mid tower. Oh, and we have cable extensions, which are cool. Try to say that 5 times faster. By the way, do I call you Kate or Kate Sue? Kate Sue? Kate Sue. Seems right. Oh. That hurt. Get all the boring cable combs out of the way. Onra, welcome back to the Village Show, sir. Oh, cable combs, how I love you. I don't know if anybody's into baseball like I am, but I don't know if you noticed or not, but our Detroit Tigers are like the #1 team in MLB. For some reason that came into my head while I was sitting here trying to figure out or finish these cable combs. started thinking about the Tigers. How I didn't watch the game yesterday. Need to show the kiddos how to do them. I handed both sets to my daughter and go. Said, want to do a puzzle? Do you want to do a puzzle? She was super excited. Win-win for me. Yeah? My oldest likes to do them, but she's too cool for dad. You know, it's just turning into a teen. He wants to hang out with dad. All he does is build computers. Ah, crap. I just pushed this out. Back in there. You rubber grommet, you. Go. Nice and pretty. Okay. We are ready to do the cooler, shall we? Detroit, the team P.Y. Cobb played for a great franchise. Yes. We have some really good pitching right now, too. Like, impressively pitching. Depth-wise, too. Robert, there's plenty of time for the Tigers to become not in the top. I'm sorry, but it's our time. This is the time. This is the year. I think they trade Skubal. Get a couple of key players, get some depth in some other positions, and we're going to go to the World Series. I can feel it. Need to show... Yeah. I already read that one. Sorry, Todd. I thought there was another one there. Alright, so we're going to be installing the Thermalright Frozen Note, which is a 360mm AIO. One cool thing I like about these AIOs is that the pump is in line. What that means is that the pump is literally in the lines, rather than being on the block or in the radiator, that a lot of other manufacturers like to do. This basically makes it impossible for the pump to be the highest point of the loop, or it's very difficult to make that happen. So the pump will always have liquid flowing through it, which is good. Keeps the pump healthy. No liquid running through a pump, bad. Burns it out. Iris Cobb. 12 batting titles. Yes. Actually, I don't recall him specifically. So maybe it was before my time. Or maybe I do, and I'm just being stupid. I've had a lot of brain fog today, so don't judge me. So I'm going to go ahead and put this splitter cable on the CPU header, CPU fan header, and then just run that to the back, so when we pull the fan cables through, we can get those plugged in on the back side. Makes this a lot easier. We do have to undo these, and then we're going to do our zip tie trick and zip them in the middle and pull them nice and tight. Helps keep the cables from sagging into the inside of the case, as well as just makes it super easy for me to pull the cables through. That is my zip tie trick for radiators. Lines them all up right here on the side. The only bad thing is if you ever had to take these fans off, you have to be able to cut that, which means I'll have to take the radiator off, but very unlikely situation. So I'll just rest the AIO here on the bottom of the case as I get a hold of all these cables. Oops, drop that one. And feed them through the back. Just enough to get started. So this way, I can lift the radiator up, pull the cables through, and get a screw into the radiator. Let's see what happened here. He played in the early 1900s. Yeah, it was slightly before my time of baseball. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to watch much during that time. I was a kid. Does it get sticky or stick to skin when it's hot? I got some researching to do. What, the leather? Yes, sir. What? What are we talking about over here on Twitch? Do you guys clean your mouse, desk mats, or just throw the dirty one away and buy a new one? I'll be honest with you, some giant idiot. I usually just throw them away or find another purpose for them. Like, they're really nice for doing builds on top of. If I have a couple of them, just lay them across the desk where I'm building and build on them. But you can wash them. I have seen them get washed before. I think my daughter's washed hers a couple times. But usually I just chuck them and then just buy a new one. I mean, they're pretty cheap. Thank you for subscribing, Caden and Z-Hewitt. I don't even know what I'm saying here. Z, I'm just gonna call you Z. Thanks for the sub, Z. I also use a textured glass mouse pad. Sent you a DM to show you. I think he's talking to you, some giant idiot. 12 batting titles, man. Yeah, that was a little bit before my time, Steve. Caden, hey man, this looks really cool. I just found you on my recommended. I just subbed. Thank you for the sub. Thank you. Oh, now they're coming through. Oh, we got to follow over on Twitch too. Thank you, Z. Well, if you have any questions or if you're looking for a PC or if you have any questions about your existing PC, you're always welcome to join the Discord channel and ask away there. We're always happy to help. Tyrus Cobb mocked Babe Ruth by hitting home runs in 3 straight games and said, okay, let's go back to playing baseball. Now that's baseball. Looking pretty clean there, guys. What do you guys think? Coming together. Coming together very nicely. So the thermal paste we're going to be using today is going to be the Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut Extreme. Hey Z, what's up? Welcome to the build show. Z is good. I think I already said that for you over on YouTube, but welcome to the build show again. Isaiah. Welcome to the build show. Am I brain dead, bro? My mind is having ideas about space, but I'm not educated enough on that. But what if my ideas are possible? I want to be the first person on a different planet. I think you might want to go talk to Elon Musk. Start there. He's the closest one to get you to a different planet. The fastest, at least probably in your or our lifetimes. Thanks, man. You're welcome. Looks great. Thank you, Mike. Steve, looks great. Thank you. Let's drop this paste on here in an X pattern. Done typical X. Really starting to look like a gaming PC now. You guys ready to drop and RX 7800 XT into this bad boy. There it is. The Sapphire Pulse AMD Radeon RX 7800 XT, 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, 256-bit PCIe 4.0 card. It's a badass card. Put this BA MF inside this thing. Use your imagination for the acronyms. Good day, sir. Hey, what's up, anarchist? Welcome back to the build show, sir. Noted. Yeah. Yeah. Jawohl. Kind of a beast of a card. To be honest, it's a pretty big card. I do like when GPU manufacturers don't put the sticker on the back plate for the serial number and all that. Instead, they put it at the bottom of the card. Which, you know, it's convenient if you ever need to pull your card out and get your serial number. But also, makes it so you don't have this big ugly sticker on the backside. Very thoughtful by the Sapphire team. I am thinking we probably should have a GPU bracket in here. I might just use a peg for this one. I don't think I have any more of those Lian Li brackets on hand. I have to order more. Yeah, it'll sag. We'll need a peg for it or a bracket. So I'll get one of those. We'll have to put it in later. I actually might have a Lian Li one still here. I might have one, actually, now that I think about it. Might be hidden away. Oh, that's a 3. Wow. This is not the right ones. More cable comes. My girlfriend is buying me the whole deal. What? My happy Lenovo Legion is starting to die out. So, my girlfriend is buying me the whole deal. That's pretty cool. Better take care of that woman. This will be an excellent 1440p gaming system. Light 4K gaming possibly. Oh yeah. This is a awesome PC. You could pretty much throw anything at this thing in 1440p and be extremely happy with the performance. That's pretty dope, Mikey. He's probably buying you a cake and a sandwich too. Jeez. Oh, some giant idiot. Dude's girlfriend sold her house to buy him a PC. That's wife material. I missed a lot of this chat here on the Twitch side. Sorry, guys. I love my current PC build, but it's starting to get slightly dated. Really, Anarch? It's not that bad. I mean, what are the specs on the Legion? Sorry if I missed some of those chats, guys. She actually got a townhouse. Oh, nice. There's some weird chats going on over there on the Twitch side, guys, if you're interested. An interesting conversation. All right, now that we've got our extension cables in, our graphics card installed, really all we have left to do is put a power supply in, do some cable management, and then we can fire this thing up and see if this thing fires up and Ben still knows how to build a PC. And yes, I will come back and put that GPU bracket in, so don't worry about that. It's the least of my worries right now. But it will happen before it goes. Because I don't want Justin to call me and be like, Ben, why is my graphics card looking like a shouldn't say that. Why is my graphics card looking all sad and mopey? You don't want that to happen, so. Dude, you are good at PCs, bro. I could get into the biz if I could. I love building them. Yeah, it's fun building them. I think I have more fun designing them on paper and being like, yeah, this will go great. Yeah, you know, it just, my mind just goes nuts over that. Building them are fun, or building them is fun, but probably my favorite part of it is when somebody sees their PC for the first time. That is like the moment. The value out of building a PC for someone is that moment right there in the end. Their first reaction to seeing it done, running, performing, the excitement behind it, it just brings me back to a kid in a candy shop type of material where I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I live for. So if you come in and you're all monotone and you're not excited when you pick up your PC, it's going to make me really sad. Very sad. When you leave, I might go cradle myself in the fetal position and cry myself to sleep. What's for dinner? Well, we had Culver's for dinner because we were doing a lot of running around today. So we had to eat out. We eat a lot out recently, and it's not good. We don't typically do that. It's becoming the norm, it seems like, and it shouldn't be. Made me so mad. What? Same. I love figuring out the parts, and yes, I love the reaction, but built my wife's her PC, and she was like, cool, and walked away. Made me so mad. Well, she might not be as into it as, you know, other people. I spent a lot on your parts, and you act like this? Yeah, no, I can understand that. It's a little different when you're building for somebody, and from the beginning to the end, we're talking about what components we want, what color we want things, you know? And then when it comes to life, you know, the excitement starts building up. And I build them live on stream here, so the excitement is even more as we're assembling it, and just a good time around. Typically a really enjoyable time. Dude, it's got a 6600 XT and a 5800 XT in it. Nice. It's a solid rig. You can literally play any game in 1080p with that. Mother's Day versus Father's Day gets lobster dinner. I get a Hungry Man microwave dinner. Woof. Well, I mean, you are a hungry man, Tat, right? But I understand. Peel that peel and send it to the can. Finally, it's time to install the power supply. Ah, crap. I put this Kelvin NVMe SSD Gen 4 drive, and read is 5100 and 4800. That's not bad. 4 terabytes, that's pretty good. So we need a 1,000 subscriber build. It's going to happen soon. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do once we hit 1,000 subs. Haven't really thought of that yet. I've been so busy. You guys keep bringing it up. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't know what the protocol is. The coolers, just toasted a $1.99 square pizza myself at some giant ate nice. It's about what we're gonna do tomorrow, pretty much. The colors, a lot dimmer, just my camera takes brighter pictures, lol. Had to bypass the fan controller and only use it for the RGB. Sent to you in a private message. Can you send it in Discord if that's not where you sent it? Now he was very excited when I built that PC. Nice. Let me know what you think of it. Don't hate me too much. I know the case is crap. Oh, don't worry, man. I've used a lot of cases. I'm messing with the Infinity Zen 4, Zen 5 options. So far, I'm liking what I picked. Oh, nice. The View Infinity is a great build. It's actually one that we built yesterday. Unfortunately, we had a bad motherboard in that build, but yesterday's stream, if you want to check it out, or you were there, Mikey? Yeah, you were there. But if you check it out there, you can see kind of what the View Infinity will end up looking like. So you can choose your color scheme and all that. Really cool. Ad. Sorry about the ad. We're 6 away from 1,000. Holy smokes. Do you have enough inventory to build a gaming piece? Build a gaming PC. I mean, I have 4 gaming PCs built here. I'm building in a Lian Li 011D DXL. Nice. Yeah, I do like that case a lot. The last one we did was last Friday in that case, the Lian Li 011D. It was the Evo XL. So it's, I don't know if we're talking about the same case, maybe yours is the Evo. But sorry about that, Mikey. I was saying that the View Infinity Zen 4, Zen 5 options, that build is the same build that we built yesterday. So you were here for that stream yesterday. So that's the same type of build that you're looking at that we built yesterday. At 1K subs, can we get a pizza burger stream? I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll have to think of something for the 1,000. Hey, what's up, crazy kid? Welcome back to the build show, sir. Tap, my peeps are coming to sub. Oh boy. Switched over to YouTube, LOL, later tonight. Check out the pick. Is my dog is so happy he had chicken, carrots, and mashed potatoes. Nice. That's definitely one good meal for a dog. Leave me alone! Kind of new here. Do you ever do retro builds? I have a Alienware, a green Alienware, pre-Dell, back when Alienware actually was Alienware, not owned by Dell, from 2003. So that's just sitting over there. I think it needs a new AGP graphics card, if anybody knows where to find one that's not insanely stupid expensive. Because I used to have a big box of AGP graphics cards, and one day I was going through all my crap and I'm like, yeah, I don't need these anymore, and I gave them to somebody, and I found out they were worth a lot of money later. I was like, oh, well, that was stupid. But I mean, it went to a good cause, so at least there's that. But then I was like, oh, you know, I'll never need these again. And then I came across this Alienware graphics card or build that I wanted to put back together. And now I can't. I don't have an AGB graphics card, and now I gotta find one and source one. Like, whoever thought they were ever gonna use AGP again? I sure didn't. I'm just trying to finish up this cable management. And thank you, Tat. I appreciate you reminding me to plug in the SATA RGB for the hub. Very much appreciated. Yeah. Don't pop them here while we're on the mic.
Yeah.
You can pop it over there. Big Tuna, thank you for the sub over there on the YouTube. Thank you, chat. Need high 1440p PC, not worried about 4K, so 9800X 3D CPU and a 7600 XT. I would say high 1440p, if you could, at least get the 7700 XT or the 5070, if you're looking for 1440p. Somewhere up there in that 12 gig range would be good. Or, if you want to go with something like basically this build, except in the View Infinity, the 9800X3D with the 7800XT. I don't know if that's an option still on the View Infinity or not, but that would be good. My cats love to annoy me when I'm on my computer. That's every cat owner. We have cats too. Same issue. It's gonna wake up Max. No, she went in the other room. Max is sitting right here, so if you don't hear it on the mic, you are not going to hear it. Max is not going to hear it. Are you a Rush fan? Because of your profile picture? I'm a Rush fan. Like, music, if that's what we're talking about. I assume that's what we're talking about? Well, I'm looking at 2200 Max. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and button this bad boy up and get it fired up for Justin. Not sure if you're here in the chat, Justin, but if you are, typically we give you the honors to tell me when to push this power button and fire it up for the first time. So if you are here in the chat, make yourself known. Crap. Might help if I actually put the panel on the case. Do 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 do. Do. Oh, I gotta fix that. There she is, in all her glory. I need to fix that. Minor things that we have to adjust. For the most part. GPU bracket and a little bit of cable adjustment. And then we'll get a side profile view of this PC. Oh, I love Tom Sawyer too. Don't even get me started. Looks like we're gonna have to zoom out a little bit. Hang tight. All right. Who's here Or is Justin here? Give me a second. I'll go over there. Already subbed, LOL. Great song. Rush is great. Oh, yeah, Rush is great. That's all, my friends. That's awake. Need one more sub over at YouTube. Oh, no. Grim, thank you for the sub over on YouTube. What happened if you lick the PSU while turning it on? Ant-Man, I do not advise doing that. I don't think anything would happen. She's beautiful. It's a little dark right now. We're waiting for Justin to tell us to push that power button. Or, where the cat's at, Ant-Man? Well, we try to keep him off the stream. Dude, that Aqua case is looking mighty sexy, man. Definitely gotta grab it. Yes. Oh, Justin! 998 subs. Thank you, Rob, for the update. $9.99. All right, guys, we're going to assume that Justin is not available at this time, and we're going to go ahead and punch it in 3, 2, 1. I'm scared. 1K we did it, the wife subbed. Thanks, Tat. Steve says, fire it up, let's get gaming. Time to play some Rush. Hell yeah. Mission failed. We'll get him next. It's not mission failed yet. How many cats do we have? We have 2 cats. One is named Whiskey. He's actually from Texas, and we live up here in Michigan. And then we have a Edward, also known as Eddie. All right. Hey. We got a post. Look at that. That Sapphire Pulse is a pretty cool looking card. But would have been cooler if it was lighting up. Yay, Tat's wife. Thank you, Tat's wife. As the great Ric Flair used to yell, woo! So Justin, we've got your PC built. Now we just got to finish Windows drivers and all that fun stuff. Good news is it's posted, so that's one step closer to being finished. Ink. You're welcome, LOL. Thank you, TechWorks LLC over there on the Twitch side for the follow as well. Yes, congratulations to Justin. It's a beautiful PC that'll serve you well. His gaming setup just got leveled up here, so we're looking forward to getting it over to him. He's actually going to be picking it up locally, probably on Monday when we have it all wrapped up and ready to go. So, almost tempted to finance the case through a firm. Oh boy. And John says we hit 1K subs. I haven't personally looked to see. Do it. Oh boy. Wow. We are at 1,000. That's pretty cool, guys. I appreciate everybody's efforts there. I don't know. I'll have to think about what we do for the 1,000 subs. Nice build, Ben. Thank you, Jesse. Looks nice. Once I get the case handled, I need to upgrade his CPU, LOL. Yeah, from the 3700. Still rocking the 3700X, yep. Have fun, Justin. I really think you will be happy, Steve says. Thank you, Steve. That's very nice. Do you have the watch time for monetization? Yes. Yeah, we've exceeded the watch time for the monetization, actually. For the hours. So we'll probably be monetized for ads, which is cool. I don't know what that means, but Jeffrey C, congrats. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Z, very clean build. Thank you. Yeah, it is going to be a very, very nice PC to game on. Very nice build. Thank you, Mikey. 1K subs, Anarchist, over there on Twitch. It gives the channel the ability to earn from ads. So if there are ads on any of my videos, being shorts, just regular videos that I upload, or even lives, which I don't think we even run ads on lives on YouTube, then we would receive revenue, a percentage of revenue for those ads being ran. That's all. It's another way to earn money on YouTube. I don't think we're going to earn that much, to be honest. Our watch hours aren't like insane. But I mean, I think we were at 4,000 in the past month or so. So it's pretty good. I bought a year of YouTube. Hope you get some of it. Thanks, Steve. John, then monetize your channel. We do have monetization right now, so you can become a member to support the channel over on YouTube, and you can also gift and sub over at Twitch, which is another way to support the channel. Kick, I think, is also open to that now as well. So those are 3 ways you could support the channel. If you showed Steve the Stains feet pics for extra, we're not going to start Steve the Stains only OF page, Tat. I don't know if you would appreciate that or not. Any updates on the Uber scam guy? No, there's still a warrant out from the ISP, and I haven't heard back from that. Saying it's been about a week since I last heard from the detective, so that's where we're at. Hey, Leaf, me alone. Thank you for joining the supporter group, becoming a member. Leave me alone. It's funny because we actually call Mrs. Empower Leaf, so it's I'm very familiar with that name. Monetize with ads. That would be awesome. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I have no idea. Yeah, the Uber scam guy who stole a PC from us, basically using a stolen credit card, bought a PC, picked it up, and then poof, vanished. And so did the money when the original owner or actual owner of the card found out that there was a purchase for a gaming PC on their credit card statement, and I got the charge back and they ripped it out of the account, and there goes the money, and the PC's gone. So apparently you could do that. So now I'm forcing driver's license checks, and if your driver's license does not match the credit card in question, you have to be the person that owns the credit card has to be present for the pickup. No questions asked. There is no other way I'm going to do that now. So if you used a credit card, you have to be present. The owner of the credit card has to be present for pickup. Credit card or debit card, whatever. Any type of credit or debit type payment. What a douche. I know, Mikey. That's how you get screwed out of $1,200, and there it goes. It was actually a very nice build too. I was kind of irked because of the build. I would have been better off just giving it away to the channel. At least it would have gone to somebody maybe who needed it instead of some jack. use your imagination to fill in the blank. No worries, John. I don't ask you. I'm not asking anybody to do that. Geez, yeah, true. What if I buy a gaming PC from you but don't have the driver's license? Well, we'll have to work something out to figure out your identity. Do you accept personal checks? No, I do not accept any checks. Any forms of checks? No. What if I use my mom's card or out-of-state order? As long as it gets shipped to you, that is actually covered under my insurance policy. So if I ship it to you and there's proof of delivery, and then I get a chargeback later, I'm actually protected from that. So I'll at least get most of it back. I do not accept any type of cryptocurrency, no. some giant idiot and tatter going on over there. Bitcoin sheesh. So I would show my ID. LOL. Yes. Yes. But you'd have to have access to your own bank account or a credit card. So if you're old enough generally to have a credit card or a bank account, you more than likely will have a driver's license by then. So it's never been a problem. He is a thief. It is being nice about it. He will get what's coming to him. Believe in karma. I hope so. You know, I'm not as I'm upset, of course, because we lost the PC and I could have done a lot different things if I wanted to just give it away. You know, or I could have, you know, and then the other thing is I'm more upset that he's still out there probably doing it to other people. That's what I really want to stop, is just stop him from doing that, especially locally in our community. It's like, come on, get out of here. Be gone with yourself. Well, unfortunately, I built it, so I don't think it's going to blow up. No, it's not nice, no. But still, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. You know, I think over the course of time with stolen credit cards, I've probably racked up about a loss of around $10,000 now in computers that people have purchased with stolen credit cards. So I've lost around 10 grand since 2021. It's pretty sad. So credit card fraud is up there. I'll leave that comment there. Some giant idiot. I don't know what to say. PCs with prices these days are gonna come with titles like the used car at the same price. Both require a driver's license. Exactly. If you had an iPhone, you could track your PCs with AirTags. I did think of that, Ant-Man, but I don't think I want to go through the trouble plus the cost. Leave me alone. Ben, do you have a retail store or work from home? So right now, the Empower Gaming Studio is in my house. That might change here in the near future. We're not sure yet. It's kind of slowing down, which is not good news. So as things slow down, the chances of us getting into a retail store is going to be less. Because this happens every year. Around summertime, things really slow down with the PC builds, because we're coming out of the tax season where people are receiving their tax returns, and that usually gives a lot of people some extra cash to buy a PC, for example. Or during the holidays, that's actually our biggest time of the year, is between October and January. That is the busiest time of the year for us so far. But during the summer, it really slows down. So last year wasn't too bad, but it slowed down. We had some pretty good sized builds through the summer, which kind of helped get through it, but it's definitely a seasonal type business. So you really have to go all in during the holidays and just build as many as you can and sell as many as you can to make it through the summer. It's just the nature of the business, I guess. I'm watching you on every platform you have. Thank you, Anarchist. Winzard, is this another RGB thread ripper? No, this is not another AMD RGB thread ripper. This is an AMD Ryzen 7 7800X 3D with a 7800 XT and 64 gigs of RAM and a 4 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD with an 850 watt power supply and a Frozen Note Thermalright AIO with a Thermalright AM5 contact frame and some sleeved cables. You're getting my internet's worth. Oh, you're getting my you're getting your internet's worth. Nice. My first car I only paid $600 for. For it, I have 2 graphics cards. I paid more for that. Yeah, I know. Prices on parts are just stupid insane right now. It's just super high. Well, you know, Ben, I'm really interested in getting one from you. You're honest. You build very nice PC. Well, thank you. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Phone number should be on the website, or just hit me up in Discord. If I have you build me one down the line, Ben, it's going to be a 9000 series chip and a 9070S. Okay. Yeah, we could definitely do that. A 9070 XT. No, I gotcha. Sorry about the spelling. Don't worry, Leaf. Ben, I can use my 4060 and the motherboard video output simultaneously, as long as your CPU supports it. Yes. So as long as your CPU has onboard video. Well, I'm here. You're here. Yeah. Thank the scalpers for that. Yeah, what's up, Mikey? If you get one from Ben, he signs his name on a card, and you can sell it on eBay for mint. Maybe not yet. I think hold on to that. Sorry. Thank you, some giant idiot, for dropping the contact info. Ryzen 5. Is it a 7600? I can't remember, Leaf. John, I wish I could have you build me a gaming PC, but no money. I'm sorry, John. If the channel makes enough money, I would start building for free, so basically at cost, as long as the channel covered all the expenses. Hey, what's up, Loop? Welcome to the build show, sir. Nice build. I just started tuning in, or just tuned in, building another tonight, bro. No, this is going to be the only build that we're doing tonight, is just this build number 55 that we completed already. 5600. So yeah, the Ryzen 5 5600 does not have onboard graphics. So you would not be able to use your motherboard output. So you would only have video output from your 4060. Well, like I said, 1440p gaming under 2200 bucks. I'd have to pull it up on the website here. Or we can jump on a Discord call if you'd like after the stream. I just don't want to be doing this in front of everybody on the stream. Take my attention away. But we could try. Are you in Discord, Mikey? If you haven't already, join Discord and ping me on there, and we could jump on a Discord call and put together your build together. Yeah, that works. Just ping me right there on Discord so I know who you are in Discord. I say, hey, does a PC... Nah, he just needs to celebrate is all. I mean, the roadmap to get to 1,000 subs, guys, was not easy. And of course, we definitely could not have achieved that. And when I say we, I mean all of us here, you guys, the core of the, I guess, Empower family is what we call it. It took a long time to get here. So I think we started on YouTube in 2022, 2023 is when we started. And I really didn't push YouTube because I was more focused on Twitch for the longest time. And I was on Twitch since the beginning, since I started Empower Gaming Computers and started streaming builds. And so I didn't really start YouTube until later. I think it was 2023 when I started YouTube. I streamed to YouTube, Twitch, and Kick all at the same time. Or Kick after it came out, of course. Oh, no worries. You're never late. Nobody's ever late. Just about 20 minutes ago? Okay, just make sure you ping me. If you want to message me on Discord and just say, hey, it's me, Mikey Mike from Twitch. And then I'll jump on a call with you and we can go through it. Nah, it cost TP much for me to ship my parts. Yeah. Okay, I'll send you my parts, put it together for free. I mean, I would probably do that if I need, if I don't have any builds going on. Wizard, if you paid for the shipping, it's just stupid expensive to ship a PC back. I don't know where you're located, but I'm located in Michigan. Just did that. Thank you, Mike. I'll hit you up right after the stream here. I want to eventually start a tech channel for my state, since there seems to be many, not be many, if any, here. You're welcome and thank you. You're welcome. And thank you. It does take a while, John, so just be patient. Ben's practically in Canada. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Tat. You're practically in what, the Pacific, or not the Pacific, the it's not the Atlantic. Why am I drawing a blank on the ocean down there? You're practically in the Gulf of America. How about that? Fake news. Canada is not. Oh, come on, some giant idiot. Careful. The Gulf of America. ROG Strix 550 motherboard. Any processors that would support graphics on this board. So it would be a G series, but you're going to have a sacrifice there. You're going to sacrifice performance by doing that. You're better off if you need additional ports, like more monitors, buying another graphics card and having a motherboard that supports that has two PCIe X16 slots, or at least a X8 secondary. But you're better off just buying another motherboard if you need another graphics card, and if your motherboard doesn't support a secondary card, and just dropping in a secondary card. Because if you go to a 5700G, for example, you lose PCIe 4.0 support. And there's no other CPU on that generation that will support onboard graphics and support PCIe Gen 4. They changed that once they switched over to the 7000 series, AIM-5. They changed that, so most of their CPUs do support onboard video. So I would not do that. If you're going to upgrade, or if you need more monitors, I would actually look to put in a secondary graphics card, and then you have 4 more monitors. And it doesn't even have to be like a super expensive card. It could be a cheap card. Do you have any tips for reaching 1K subs? I think the most important thing for streaming is to be consistent and to communicate to your followers. So if you're not going to be streaming, for example, make sure you communicate and make sure you have like a primary platform that you communicate on, so everybody knows where to look to see updates. For example, I use Discord. It's just a lot easier to communicate with people and interact with people. I should be using Twitch or Twitter, or I'm sorry, Twitter and Facebook, but I really don't utilize that enough. But posting to your social media platforms also helps interact with people, but that means you have to create the content and make sure you post it in a consistent pattern as well. So consistency is like the key, like the number one thing. So if you stream, 2 times a week and it's Monday and Friday or Saturday and Wednesday or something like that, make sure you spread it out a little bit so it's not just every single day, because not everybody's going to be able to join every single day. What's up? Hit me. What's up with the question? Wife's making cheesecake. Ooh, cheesecake sounds delicious, even though I'm trying to lose weight. I have a YouTube and a Discord. Nice. It's a good start. Stream on Portrait. It is like short live, and you will get a lot of views. More viewers on YouTube, TikTok mode, LOL. That's another thing, is utilizing TikTok and other platforms to kind of funnel people over to your main channel is an important thing, which is what I was just talking about with social media. I was modding a case to have a display of stats. The 5-inch display has HDMI input. Okay. Then yeah, you'd have to... You could get either a HDMI to DisplayPort adapter, like a small one, or you'd have to utilize your only HDMI port on your graphics card, and then your monitor will have to switch to DisplayPort. I mean, that's the only thing you could do. I think they make USB to HDMI as well. That's another option that you could use, but then you're sacrificing a USB port for that. Ben forces me. And also a variety of games. Ben forces me and some giant idiot here, or we get the cone of shame. I do not. Whenever I stream, it's Fortnite. Nice. I mean, yeah, stay consistent with what you're doing. That if you change what you're doing on your streams, I am a firm believer that messes with the algorithm on YouTube, especially. I'm about to ban that guy for suggesting a portrait. Jeez, so giant. Come on now. I'm actually chained to the radiator in Ben's basement. Send help. So, unfortunately, some giant idiot, we don't have a basement. We live on a slab, so nobody will ever find you. My dad said I can't use TikTok. Well, I don't blame him. There's a lot of garbage on TikTok. Windsor not saying use TikTok. I'm just saying other platforms you can utilize to funnel people to your main channel. So there you go. TikTok is going down anyway. I mean, it's just... I tried streaming to TikTok, honestly. It was a pain in the butt, because if I wanted to stream to YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, X, and also TikTok, for TikTok, they forced me, one, to use a secondary app. I couldn't use Streamlabs to stream to TikTok because I was just starting out. I was too new of an account, etc. So they forced me to use their app, and that app forced me to use additional cameras. So I had to set up additional cameras, one top down, one side for my face, etc., in order to stream to TikTok. And I tried that, and it was okay. Like the first 5 minutes of the video, it gets a lot of hits, and then all of a sudden it just dies off. So I don't know what to say about it other than it's weird. I'm not a big fan of TikTok. Nexus PCs, I'm starting out as a PC builder. What do you recommend? What do you mean? What do I recommend? What area are you asking for recommendations on? Nah, I can't give out free PCs. Oh boy. Some giant idiot going right to the throat. Give out free samples. I don't even give free samples out, so don't feel bad, Nexus. Because TikTok viewers are fake AF. Makes sense, Wizard. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Nexus, what area are you asking advice on? Like where to gain customers or where to sell? Because if you're local, I don't know if I should answer that question. You'd be a direct competitor. Yeah, Income owns it. I'm just kidding. So basically, a good way to start Nexus is, I mean, your basics, your Facebook marketplace. Start there and then start building a customer base. And then once you have enough and it makes enough money to support, say, a website, start a website. And from there, make sure, of course, you build out your social media platforms so that if somebody searches your company name or who you're known as, stuff will come up on Google. Because if it doesn't, then it's going to look like, well, nobody knows what this brand is, and nobody has any reviews. And that's the other thing, reviews. If you have a physical address, can't be a PO box. It has to be a physical address. If you have a physical address, like a house or an apartment, you can set up like a Google business on Google Maps. That's super important because then people can start leaving reviews there, and that is like one of the #1 places that people go look up businesses and start looking at reviews is like Google Maps and other map locations, like for example, Apple. I'm really not super big on the Apple platform, and I don't really have a lot of reviews there. And for some reason, I actually found that I had a negative review on Apple, which is my first negative review on Apple Maps. And I was like, and then I looked at the customer name and I'm like, I don't recognize this person. And I looked it up in our database. So somebody just left me a negative review and I don't know why. And it had nothing to do with PCs. So it was weird. I don't know if it was a mistake, maybe. So I tried to protest it with Google or with Apple. How to get customers. That is how you earn their trust. That is #1 thing. So the more proof that you have that you're a trusted builder, the easier it is to gain new customers. So gaining those public reviews on like Google Maps and even just your Facebook marketplace profile is extremely important. So Facebook Marketplace is going to be like the #1 place to start flipping PCs. And don't ship, only do local, only accept cash. If you are going to accept anything else, make sure it's something like Zelle. Or PayPal, but PayPal can be dangerous too, so I would stick with cash if you can while you're starting out. Selling on Facebook Marketplace is great. That's how I found you, Ben, in Empower. Oh, nice. Building PCs, but naked. Oh, geez, fantastic income. Just, Tat, we'll talk about that maybe later. Probably a rival. Them cable comes 8. Cool. This is the first time I've seen them. Oh. The cable comes are cool. Yeah, those cable comes that you see in there. These here. Yeah, they're pretty cool. That's a kit you could purchase for like $25. You can find some actually for cheaper if you wanted. I made another YouTube channel for my PC building when I start that, and my name on YouTube channel is Hurricane. So is Hurricane Builds. A good name? Yeah, Hurricane Builds is a cool name. I think it's pretty cool. It's catchy. My house has that, except I'm not a business. Oh, interesting, Leaf. Is that from like somebody else? 'Cause that's weird. Cash App, I'd be careful with Cash App too. Just from my experience, everybody, there's a lot of which we were just talking about. I just got screwed out of $1,200 on a PC that I built, and they used a stolen credit card to pay for it. So they picked up after they paid for it, and then a couple days later, I got a chargeback, and the chargeback was because the actual owner of the credit card was like, "What the hell is this?" And then, so we were just talking about that. So you got to be careful. Don't get burned. From my mistakes, I'm sharing to you the advice: stick with cash when you're starting out. And if you're worried about bills, go buy one of those markers so you can check the bills. Because there are fake bills, and I have ran into that before as well. Believe it or not. That was interesting. I used to sell name brand named golf clubs that I'd buy, Tat over on Twitch, from garage sales, clean them up, take good pictures, and sold them like crazy. Even had a spot at the golf course where I'd leave them. Nice. Now I just do tattoos, watch Ben build PCs, and hang out with Steve the Stain and some giant idiot. Oh man. Insane cable management, thank you. To build a PC under 500, you would really need to cut corners like 512 gigabyte NVMe or a cheap power supply and cheap case. Yeah, that. So for example, on my website, we have the budget build, which kind of shows your $550 option, and that's the cheapest I'll build. If anybody comes to me and says, "Oh, I've got $450 budget," I'm like, I can't do anything with that. It's just not enough for me to. You're better off just going and buying an Xbox or a PlayStation at that point, you know? You'll have a better experience for gaming. Yeah, I know. Exactly, Tat. That's what I tell people. But you know, some people are like, "Well, I want to get my kids started on a PC and I don't want to spend, you know, $1,000 on it yet, but I want them to start, you know, getting the feel of it." You know, then the $550 option makes sense. Right? So, and then the kid would, you know, kiddo will be able to play Minecraft and some Fortnite and some things without getting, you know, crazy frames, but some pretty good performance on that system. Leave Me Alone says, "I'm a photography studio, apparently." Oh, nice. You should probably contact Google about that, because it was probably maybe somebody that used to live there, or somebody actually used your physical address. And here's the weird thing, Leave Me Alone, is in order to list a business, you have to receive a physical piece of mail with a code to then punch that code into Google to confirm that you live or that you own that residence or that that business location, that address. So if that were to happen while you lived there, and that just all of a sudden popped up, somebody would have had to make the business using your address, and then also have that mailer show up in your mailbox, and they went and checked it, grabbed it out of your mail, and then used that to confirm that they own the address. So maybe contact Google about that. That's kind of weird. Dude, Empower. What's up, man? What's the specs of the PC behind me? What, this one here? Or this one here? I am pretty behind on chat, yeah. 11 a month for 12 months, is that bad? 11 a month for 12 months. 11 a month for 12 months, so that's 11 times 12. Yeah, that's pretty high interest that you'd be paying. I mean, originally the case is like $90. I would just save for it. That's just me. The Aqua 9. Oh, well, the Aqua 9's a little bit more. I mean, that's pretty close. That's not that bad. It's not terrible. It's a little bit over with interest. So I think you're paying like an extra $20-ish, or if I'm thinking right, like $22 extra, something like that. So you'd be paying like $22 extra. The one on the screen? Okay, so this one is a Ryzen 7, and you can also type !build in the chat, Nexus PCs, if you're ever curious about the specs that I'm building with. Generally, I will have that up to date. On this one, I have it up to date, and that'll spit out the specs. But this is a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D with 64 gigs of RAM, a 4 terabyte SSD, Gigabyte B650, Gaming X AX motherboard, a AMD Radeon RX 7600 XT, 7800 XT, I'm sorry, 850 watt power supply, some cable combs, the Thermalright Frozen Note AIO with a Thermalright AIM5 contact frame, and some cable combs with cable extensions in a Montech Air 903 Max case. I have not built in the 9 before, unfortunately. Not yet. Just haven't found anybody that that wants that look. I spelled that wrong, didn't... Don't worry about it. Try it again. !build. I did contact them. It's from the previous owners. I have not had any issues with people bugging me or anything like that. Yeah, they should move that address if they haven't already. But, you know, they would have to do that. That's interesting. What's the minimum money I need to flip PCs, John? I'd say you'd have to start with at least a couple $100s to get a good flip. Because you have to buy something that you need to kind of clean up, fix, or add to. And then you might need a little bit of money for parts to add to. For example, the CPU cooler is like the #1 thing that you change, because you buy a cheap one with like a stock cooler, and then you upgrade it to a better cooler, change out the thermal paste, clean it up, take a look at the graphics card, see if the thermal paste on the card is shot, and then you got to benchmark it. You know, might need to add more storage to it or something. So you need a little bit of money for parts. Maybe you're buying something like an HP Omen and switching it to a different case. I don't know. But you do need a little bit of wiggle room for extra parts on top of what you're buying to flip. So don't have like $200 and then buy a $200 PC to flip, because then you don't have any money to add to it to make it better to flip for more money. So a couple $100, maybe 300, and you can get started. Ben, have you saw the 93 yet? Okinawa's Aqua 93? Yeah. Yep, I've seen that one. It's a pretty cool case. Ads, be right back. Sorry. How's the water-cooled PC going? It's in progress. So we should have videos within the next week. I have been taking my time on it, but builds are a little light, so we're gonna be able to really focus on it here in the next week. This next week, so we should have some major progress on it. Just get a credit card with the 1,000, 2,000, put a PC together, sell it for 200 more, and then you spend, restart, just pay off the card as soon as you get the money. Well, the thing is John is too young to have a credit card, Tat. He can't start that yet, so he has to do it all cash. He's just a very ambitious young man trying to start a PC business. PC flipping business to earn money. So mom's credit card. I don't think his mom would let him do that. Yeah, you're almost there. You just got to save up a little bit. Definitely don't use mom's credit card. Okay, back. So no, I have not built in the Okinawa's Aqua 93. But it looks pretty cool. Those Omens and Dells case swap and put a graphics card in it and resell. Yeah, just be honest about what it is, though, if you do that. What I don't like seeing is people claiming it to be like the best gaming PC, blah. And then somebody that doesn't know comes in and is like, oh my goodness, this is such a good price for the best gaming PC. And then buys it and then finds out it's a piece of crap. I've had so many people come through here. They're like, yeah, I bought this off Marketplace, and the guy said it was the best PC ever, and it doesn't do this, that. And then I'm like, yeah, he kind of sold you a piece of crap. So, well over what it's worth. What is the cost of this build you just did? I think we were at 20 something. We're at around 2,000 for this build. But mind you, it's got a 4 terabyte SSD in there. That's just, and 64 gigs of RAM. So it's not just the core CPU and the graphics card. Graphics card was a little more expensive than it should have been too on this one. You could buy house tax lines for PC prices. Yeah, pretty much. So fancy. That's probably the cheapest way. Yeah, you could. Now she would say, no, I have to save myself. I think that's good. Because you need to be able to do it yourself. What does it cost? We already covered that comment. Sorry. I'm getting tired, guys. It's Saturday. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. I've got a long day tomorrow. I've got to go to like 3 different places tomorrow. So we're going to be doing a lot of running around. Hopefully, y'all have a awesome Sunday tomorrow, and everybody make sure you go tell your mom and your wife, if you have kids, Happy Mother's Day tomorrow. What should titles for builds on Facebook Marketplace be? Custom gaming PC or gaming PC? It's as simple as that. You don't have to get fancy with it. Keep it simple. People like simple. If you add a bunch of verbiage and that looks scary and confusing, people might not click on that. If you keep it simple, people like simple. I won't keep you long on Discord, Ben. No worries, man. Yeah, we'll end the stream and I'll jump on you. I'll jump on a call with you, not on you. Yeah, you're gonna have to search that based on your location. You'll make more money with houses. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. What am I doing? I'm in the wrong business, guys. Screw this. We're gonna just go keep buying properties. Just kidding. Heard people said name it awesome gaming PC and list the specs in the description. Yeah, just call it as simply just gaming PC and then add the specs in the description. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do anything fancy there. And if you want to like have some benchmark tests of some games, so say like Fortnite runs at 120 FPS and Call of Duty runs at 80 FPS and whatever, that'll help kind of clarify its performance. That's what a lot of people look for. It's okay, Windsor, or it's okay, John, just don't worry about it. John's extreme gaming builds, 100% Fortnite wins for these PCs. Yeah, that would be a good tagline. Clean the house, cook food, do good boy stuff. That's good advice, some giant idiot. Eventually, mom would help. It's tough being a parent because you want to buy your kids everything, but sometimes, you know, like with today's economy, everything's so stupid expensive, it's hard to buy anything. So just living is expensive right now. It's hard. I don't blame a parent for saying no right now. It's hard. Having hot dogs for Mother's Day. Screw that. Nice. Same to yours, SMJ Idiot. Happy Mother's Day, friends. Call mom. She'll really appreciate it. Good call, some giant idiot. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. This is it for me. I'm done for the night. I'm going to go jump on a call with Mikey and call it a night. Hopefully, we'll be back on sometime midweek. I'm thinking Wednesday. We should be able to get back online and stream. But we'll take Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, and we'll try to get back on stream Wednesday. And then, depending on the builds that we get coming in, maybe we just start working on the open loop live, I guess. I don't know. There's so much to do, but yeah. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Wednesday, we'll be back. Have a good weekend, guys. Tell your mom Happy Mother's Day, and we'll see you back on Wednesday. Take care, guys. Of course, I need to push the button. So we have the awkward moment here. Enjoy the awkward moment. We'll see you guys.